In a lush, magical forest, where sunlight danced through the canopy of ancient trees, lived two creatures from different worlds. Willow the fairy, with her shimmering wings and mischievous smile, called the forest her home. And there was Finn, a gentle-hearted elf with emerald eyes and swift feet, who loved exploring every corner of their enchanted realm. Willow and Finn had grown up hearing tales about how fairies and elves were not meant to be friends, let alone fall in love. The elders warned of ancient rivalries and the importance of staying within their own kind. But neither Willow nor Finn could resist the curiosity that drew them together. One sunny morning, while Willow was gathering dewdrops for her fairy potions, she heard the faint sound of a flute playing a tune she had never heard before. Intrigued, she followed the music deep into the forest until she stumbled upon Finn sitting by a babbling brook, his flute in hand. He looked up, startled yet curious to see Willow. Their first meeting was awkward, but filled with a strange sense of familiarity. Willow nervously fluttered her wings, and Finn shyly tucked a stray strand of hair behind his pointed ear. They talked for hours, sharing stories of their lives and dreams that they had never dared to speak aloud before. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Willow knew she had to return to her fairy glen before anyone noticed her absence. Finn hesitated, torn between the warnings of his elders and the newfound warmth he felt in Willow's presence. Reluctantly, they parted ways with a promise to meet again at the same spot. Little did they know, their budding friendship would soon face its first challenge. Despite their initial hesitation, Willow and Finn couldn't stay away from each other. Every evening under the soft glow of the moon, they would meet at the brook, far from prying eyes and gossiping whispers. They laughed, shared secrets, and discovered a deep connection that transcended their differences. But their clandestine meetings did not go unnoticed. One night, as they were lost in conversation, a group of mischievous pixies happened upon them. Pixies, known for their love of gossip and mischief, quickly spread the news of the forbidden friendship between a fairy and an elf. Soon, whispers of their meetings reached the ears of the elders. The fairy queen and the elf king, both wise and respected leaders, were troubled by the news. They knew of the ancient rivalry between their kind and feared the consequences of such a bond. One evening, just as Willow and Finn were sharing a tender moment under the stars, they were interrupted by the arrival of the fairy queen and the elf king. The elders' expressions were grave, yet tinged with sadness, as they gently but firmly separated the two young lovers. "You must understand," the elf king began, his voice heavy with regret. "There are reasons why fairies and elves have remained apart for so long." The fairy queen nodded in agreement, her eyes filled with compassion for the young couple before her. "Your love is a beautiful thing," she said softly, "but it cannot be." Heartbroken and confused, Willow and Finn watched helplessly as the elders escorted them back to their respective homes, forbidden to see each other again. Separated by the decree of their elders, Willow and Finn found themselves consumed by sadness and longing. Days turned into weeks, and each passing moment without seeing each other felt like an eternity. Willow sought solace in her fairy friends, but her heart ached for Finn's laughter and gentle touch. Finn, too, found it hard to focus on his duties as an elf scout, his thoughts constantly drifting back to Willow and their stolen moments together. In their absence, the once vibrant forest seemed to lose its sparkle. Flowers drooped, birds sang mournful tunes, and even the sunlight struggled to break through the dense canopy. The elders, burdened by the weight of their decision, watched with a heavy heart as the forest began to wither. One fateful night, unable to bear the pain of separation any longer, Willow made a bold decision. With determination in her heart, she snuck out of her fairy glen and ventured deep into the heart of the forest, where she knew Finn would be on patrol. Her wings quivered with nervousness as she approached him, but when Finn saw Willow standing before him, his eyes lit up with joy and relief. Without a word, he took her hand and led her to a secluded clearing, where they embraced each other tightly, tears of happiness streaming down their faces. For a brief moment, the world seemed to stand still as Willow and Finn reaffirmed their love for each other. But their reunion was short-lived, as the sound of approaching footsteps broke the silence. It was the elders, once again standing between them with sorrowful expressions. This time, however, Willow and Finn were determined not to let anyone tear them apart. They pleaded with the elders, arguing that their love brought joy and harmony to the forest, not discord. They spoke of their dreams of a future together, where fairies and elves lived side by side in peace. Moved by their sincerity and courage, the fairy queen and the elf king finally relented. They agreed to give Willow and Finn a chance to prove the strength of their love and the possibility of unity between their kind. But there was a catch. The elders set forth a series of challenges that Willow and Finn must face together to demonstrate their commitment and resolve. These challenges would test their courage, loyalty, and willingness to stand by each other, no matter the odds. The first challenge took them deep into the heart of the forest, where they had to navigate through treacherous paths and overcome magical obstacles. Hand in hand, they faced each challenge with determination and trust in each other, growing closer with every trial they conquered. As they journeyed together, they encountered creatures and beings from both fairy and elf realms who had been divided for generations. Through their actions and unwavering love, Willow and Finn began to bridge the gaps between their kind, earning respect and admiration along the way. After completing the final challenge, which tested their ability to make sacrifices for the greater good, Willow and Finn stood before the elders once more. Their faces bore the marks of their trials, but their hearts were filled with hope and a deep sense of accomplishment. The fairy queen and the elf king looked upon them with pride and wisdom. They saw how far Willow and Finn had come, not just as individuals, but as symbols of unity and love in their enchanted forest. "We have witnessed the strength of your love and the power it holds," the elf king spoke solemnly, his voice echoing through the clearing. "You have shown us that love knows no boundaries and can overcome even the deepest divides." With those words, the elders lifted the band that had kept fairies and elves apart for centuries. Cheers erupted from the creatures gathered around them, celebrating the newfound unity and harmony in their forest home. Willow and Finn embraced each other tightly, knowing that their love had not only survived the challenges, but had also brought about positive change for their entire community. Together, they looked forward to a future where fairies and elves lived side by side, guided by love, understanding, and a newfound respect for one another. And so, in the heart of the enchanted forest, Willow and Finn's forbidden love became a beacon of hope and inspiration for all who believed in the power of love to conquer all.